Evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 with Scotty Too Hottie from Bros Carpentry. How you doing, buddy?
I'm not too bad. I don't know about the hottie bit either.
I love the Scotty Too Hottie, mate.
It's a dated reference, but it's a thing of age, that one.
So, buddy, how's things with you? All well?
Yes, all well, mate. Yeah, loving life. Things are going very well. Busy with work. Things are good.
Good. So tonight we're going to talk about a few topics, mate. So, at some point we're going to mention a little bit about mental health, because on the TDD show, we like to talk about that at least once a month. We try and get people in about mental health to try and raise as much awareness as possible. And then we'll also talk about your journey within the industry and your future goals. And obviously, you mentioned to me one thing, you going around to someone famous's house. We talked about that as well at some point.
Yeah, sure.
All good, buddy?
We get to it. Yeah, cool.
Perfect. Right. So, obviously, you're currently away somewhere, aren't you?
We are, yes. We're currently sat in a hotel room in Bognor Regis.
Living at large?
Yes, it's an interesting place.
So, what
say again, sorry.
What are you doing up there at the minute?
We are at Brad's house from the Bold Builders, and we should be doing some wall paneling, but we've been chucked on various other carpentry jobs just to sort of help him out. We've got some understairs storage stuff to do as well, but we're looking to get onto the wall paneling, really, sort of nice detailed bits. Yeah, he's got a good eye for and a good taste for things. He's picked up all these ideas from all the jobs he's worked in over the years, and he's got a very, very, very good eye for things. He's not a daft man. He's not at all.
You were saying just before we come on live that obviously how clued up he is, and he's quite handy at being a site foreman and running the show.
Irritatingly good.
Stop it, Brad.
Yeah. He's all bolshy and he's playful. The camera comes out and he can play up a little bit, but he really does know his stuff, and he can push, and he's got a nice way of speaking to people and working them, should we say?
Yeah, he always seems energetic as well, doesn't he?
Very energetic, very driven. Yeah. He's inspiring, to be fair. Like trying to blow too much smoke up his back end, but he's a good guy. He genuinely is a good guy. Yeah. And Sam, to be fair, can't leave Sam out. But I'm not working at Sam's house yet.
Hurry up, Sam! Get your house sorted now, because your house.
Bless him. Good lad.
What was your initial start within the industry then? Did you, did you go college to learn it, or did you start off labouring? Or tell me about your story initially.
So, started from school, really. Well, I might have started younger than that. Well, I started at school. So all of my sort of elder peers, so my dad, my grandparents, they all sort of run businesses, and they're in the construction industry, I suppose. But my dad's an ex-decorator, and he turned his hand to becoming a oil heating engineer.
Okay, yeah.
Followed suit with my granddad. So for years, I was going to work with him in the holiday, sitting on the toolbox while he's servicing Argos and hoovering various bits of, I don't know what they were back then as a child, but yeah, all I can tell you is it stank, and I didn't really like it. But you sort of admire the being in the van and the toolbox stuff, playing with tools, and I sort of liked that setup. So it was always destined to be. But I say that I was a keen rugby player. So at the age of 16, I had a choice on my hand to go to Carpentry College to continue sort of playing sports.
Yeah.
Or look at something in construction. I was
about tricky, wasn't it? Tricky to
it was, but luckily I had a bit of an older head on my shoulders, and I thought, well, if I continue on it, then rugby path, what have I got till I'm about 30 if I'm lucky? Then what? I'm going to have to maybe struggle to retrain doing something like this. So I sort of went down the Chippy route, and it paid off, because I think I got to about 2011 and I got quite ill with, so I don't know what was wrong with me, some blood thing. And it knocked the rugby on the head anyway. So it was a lucky choice, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sort of panned out. But yeah, so from a young age, what did I do? So I couldn't find an apprenticeship at the age of 16, just fresh out of school.
Mhm.
So I entered a full-time carpentry course. Really, really enjoyed it. The
Yeah.
college lecturer could see that I was passionate and I wanted to do this as a serious job. He
Yeah.
actually got me an apprenticeship with a friend of his from his local rugby club, funny enough. And yeah, got through that and turned self-employed at the age of 18. So started running my own thing at the age of 18 after just plowing through college. I think I completed college about a year and a half, signed out of that, went straight onto the sites and started subbing in for the various bigger firms and started to get my own private work in slowly. So what was just a couple of days here and there turned into me doing a couple of days here and there on the sites for the other guys as sort of favors, really.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah.
wasn't that long after that we ended up sort of getting contracts with sort of Ren to fit kitchens for them and just flooding out the domestic scene, really.
Yeah. So is
Yeah.
that? Would you say the domestic side of it is better for you than obviously going on sites?
It's a better fit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like being on sites too much. It's
I can.
work a little. No offense to anybody that you know laps it up and loves it, but it's just
Personal
the
preference.
quality. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not my preference. Like
Yeah.
being super pokey on that one. But yeah, yeah. It's things like walking from one site to the other, and you got to walk through a digger track with mud up to your knees. It's viz vest, hard hats.
Yeah. It's
Signing
not.
in, signing out. It's not me.
I was talking about it the other day to someone, one of the lads at work, and I said to him, it would be good if you sign something to say it's your choice whether you want to wear trainers. You know what I mean? If it's purely down to you, then
Yeah,
you're taking
yeah,
the full responsibility. If anything happens to it, it is down to you. That
yeah,
should.
yeah. Sign a waiver, or maybe just
That's
provide
it.
your own liability insurance or something. Just
Yeah.
say I'm voiding all this on my own head. But
Yeah, so it protects the company. Then obviously you're working for, and then
yeah,
obviously it takes it all onto your own shoulders. But then it's just like I said
yeah.
again, it's personal preference, isn't it? Because not everyone wants to wear all this bloody hard hat. You're wearing a hard hat when you're working outside. There's nothing around you, and you're
You find your head
laying
more
some
with.
grass or
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the viz vest and whatnot when you're in a confined space, it's upstairs in a bathroom on a building site somewhere. Why do you need to be seen with a viz vest on and a
Yeah,
hard hat? And yeah,
because
is
obviously without the high vis, mate, you can't see anyone, can you?
what? Well, no, they're invisible.
Literally invisible until they put that on.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh well, red tape. Can't be doing with it. Yeah, so I prefer sort of the footloose freestyling, just sort of bespoke stuff in the domestic scene. It's much more me.
Yeah,
Much,
definitely. I just quickly say hi to Matty. Hi, Matt. Thanks for coming back on, buddy.
hey
Um,
Matt.
yeah, so yeah, talk about the main things that you undertake now, work wise. What's the main things you do?
They're coming in thick and fast in sort of themes of what's cool right now. So lockdown and whatnot, it seemed to be office stuff and sort of media walls, things like
Yeah.
that. We've had a lot of time to just stare at a wall. And now it's sort of changed. It's evolving. There's a lot of wall paneling coming in. I think it's a
Okay.
little phrase. So we do a lot of sort of bespoke alcove units, wardrobes, fitted stuff. It seems to be quite popular. It's not all we do, but there
Yeah.
seems to be quite a heavy calling for us to be on that. Well, we've travelled 2.5 hours to Bognor Regis to do something very similar for Brad. So
So it's
we must
more a
right.
carpentry / joinery.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
So you
technically,
make
my qualification is carpentry and joinery. Technically, that's what's on the ticket. But I don't know. I mean, I suppose it is joinery,
yeah, it is if
but
you
I
make
just
it, I
feel
suppose.
like it. Yeah, because we can go from doing a cut roof
Yeah.
to fitting these units and whatnot. It can seem really wide, very far apart.
Yeah,
But
of
they're all
course.
falling into our lap. But yeah, to be fair, I prefer the second fix indoors, central heating on, cup of tea in hand.
Yeah, nice and easy. A couple of biscuits.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, bit
So you make
picky.
mainly carpentry work that you undertake then?
Yeah, so it is building. I was previously a director of a bigger building company where we were doing extensions, loft conversions, things like that. But we that's over now. We're not yeah, it's not a thing anymore. So we went separate ways. And the other director set up our stuff, and I sort of went back to the grassroots, tried to enjoy things a little bit more.
Yeah,
just try to smile.
well, it
rather
helps.
than
Doesn't it?
miserable.
Yeah, that's it. If you enjoy what you're doing, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? If you're doing something you hate, it fucking
Yeah, I
drags.
didn't like it.
The arse
Project
and-
managing didn't. We could do it. We could do it comfortably, I say.
Yeah,
But did I enjoy it? No, it didn't. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't move without being asked a question.
yeah.
And the phone calls would not stop. It's just, it wasn't for me.
No, that's fair enough. So how many people you got working for you at the minute then?
Just me and Dave right now. We did have Finn, the apprentice. He was in his first year at college, but he wasn't quite performing very well. He was a lovely lad. We haven't fallen out or anything. But it was just one of those things that we had to let him go. So it's back to just me and Dave right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I may look again for September, but at the moment it's nice to sort of not have a 16, 17-year-old person to moan at.
Yeah, have less of a tie, isn't it? Because it is a tie. We all know that.
Yeah, it is a tie, a big commitment, and
you're basically got to babysit him the whole way through, haven't you? So
yeah. Like I say, I don't want to talk ill of him because he was a really nice kid, but he just wasn't quite at stages that I was expecting. So I had to unfortunately let him go. But it's just indeed.
So let's talk about what's the bros bit of the bros carpentry. Where does that come from? Is that?
Yeah, so the Bros Carpentry set up three years ago now, Dave. What do you reckon? Yeah, 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
I think come up with a name. I like back in the day when I was 18, it was SA Bub Carpentry and Joinery, and I was thinking the old company. It was obviously my name and the other chap's name, and I thought let's just find something that's not namey.
Yeah.
I've got 5 sons between me and my wife. Yeah, so I'm trying to build something for them to possibly walk into and take over. So as they're all brothers, they can come in as brothers and sort of co-own the company and move forward with that. No, there's no names involved. There's no initials. No one can say.
That's good future thinking.
Yeah. For all I know, they could take their hand to something else and go and work in Asda. I don't know. But the thought was there, and if I got to wind it up, then that's what I'll do. But yeah, forward thinking and whatnot.
So what was the for you, mate, at the beginning stage of setting up Bros Carpentry? What is the best advice you could give to someone that's out there that's trying to look to go on their own, set up their own company? What's the best advice that you found in your journey that you could give to someone else?
If you're driven enough to have the idea and just go for it in whatever way, shape or form, whether you want to set up a limited company, you want to go self-employed, just give it a go. Build your contacts up. So for instance, if you've got a job, I don't know, let's just make something up. Say you worked at Tesco's and you're thinking, oh, I'd really like to take on painting and decorating. I've got my qualification from previous. Just go part-time or pick up some weekend work and just make as many phone calls and build relationships with other builders and other like-minded people. Just put yourself out there, set up yourself on the socials. It's free, it's fun. There's plenty of apps that you can do to make a sort of a logo. You don't have to spend. It's in the beginning, money is a thing. People think it takes a lot of money to open up a company. It's not, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of free things out there. It can cost you money up front,
depending on how far you want to go involved to start with, isn't it?
Yeah, and it depends. If you're talking carpentry, there's obviously thousands of pounds in equipment. But did I have that at the beginning? No, we just sort of had bits and bobs, and we made it work. And you evolve. 20 years on, I'm here.
Yeah. So you self-employed then?
I was at the beginning. Now I'm a director of this company set up, limited company now. Yeah, it's a different ball game altogether. A lot more paperwork.
That's a problem.
No. Yeah, it's a nightmare. To be honest, I got a bookkeeper and the accountant. I just sort of I put a lot on their shoulders. I'm no good at the paperwork side of things. I'm dyslexic. I can barely read a letter properly, let alone fill forms in and make sure I submit everything on time. I'll be lethal for it.
No, that's the thing, mate. I said, like we're all more hands on than anything, aren't we? So
yes, definitely very good with my hands. Not very academic.
not just on site.
No, that's it.
So, like I said, I've recently just taught myself more of the paperwork side of things, the business side of things. What about yourself then for the business side of things? Have you done much or looked into that much? Have you trained yourself much at all? Because we're not taught business at all, are we?
No, we're not, and I think schools should start looking at things like this. Just as I'm not talking a GCSE, but I'm thinking just some form of basics.
Yeah.
Because I look back at some of my sort of friends from school. Most of them are running businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have thought it back then.
Yeah, that's
but
it. Yeah.
They are, and we all could have benefited from such a thing. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's tricky.
Yeah, because what I've found within construction, mate, right? We're all obsessed with a day rate. Yeah, so we're all working for a day rate for someone. We do
minimum.
Yeah, and we're working out, especially directors, or if you're self-employed, sole trader, or anything like that. It's you're working your absolute arse off, but you don't realise or think about all the overheads you've got to pay for.
No, you don't. That is something that you pick up in time, and you realise you will make mistakes.
You will 100%.
100% make mistakes, but don't let them put you off. Learn from them and overcome it. Adapt. Move forward. I'm still making mistakes today. I'm not perfect. Far from perfect.
Everyone does. You just got to learn, like you said, you got to learn from your mistakes and just keep moving.
Quite right.
As long as you're driven enough to keep going forward.
Yeah, that's right. Just keep one foot in front of the other, day by day, and before you know it, you look back and you're miles away from where you started.
Yeah, 100%.
Quite laughable, in fact.
Because obviously soon at some point on our YouTube channel, I'm going to try and cover some of the business side of things, because I've been doing so much research over the years, because I was absolutely shite at it, mate. Like we were just talking then, I'd get a job, just like bish bosh bash, job done. Haven't looked at any of the profits or margins or anything. Just moved on to the next one. I was talking to Dean last week from Masters of the Trade, and we were talking about it. And it's basically a case of, you look at the bank sometimes and it'd be like, oh, not too bad this time.
Yeah.
And then the following time you'd be thinking, where the fuck's the money gone then?
It just quickly drains out. Yeah.
Because you're not
find that plug.
Numbers and
just
stuff.
Plug it.
Yeah. Because you're not looking properly. That's it. It's like all of a sudden it's just going downhill with nothing else coming back on top, and you're thinking, where the fuck's this all coming from?
Yeah, it's a struggle. In one hand, out the other. As long as it's going out the other too heavy, that's the thing. And trying to earn a little bit of company profit. So I pay myself, I pay Dave, and then the company needs to earn money to stay alive. The van won't run itself.
Yeah, that's it.
I've got accountant to pay. I've got bills to pay. It's constant.
I like to say, always make sure you've got a rainy day fund.
Yeah, building that up can be very difficult.
Yeah, you have to try and keep as much as you can in the rainy day pot, because you never know what's around the corner. Something can happen to you, a van, anything like that, can it?
Yeah, quite right. Yeah, all of a sudden the engine could go bang, and
or you could pull onto someone's grass and get stuck there and have to get your mate to come pull you out.
Yeah, that happened. He's laughing. Yeah, little Frank had to save Big Frank, so we've named our vans Frank, Little Frank and Big Frank. Yeah, so little Frank had to come and save the day. Who'd have thought that? Gutless little thing.
Love that. That's brilliant, mate. So you tried to park on the grass, did you, for a bit, or?
Well, the client said, "Oh, just park there." Again, it's a big building, sort of estate near me.
Yeah.
King Gloucester. And yeah, all the builders park here. He goes, "Just park on here." I was like, "Are you sure about this? It's going to make a right mess. Are you sure?" "Yeah, it'll be fine." I'm like, "All right." There was literally nowhere else to park. I don't really know. Well, I'd have been miles away. I'm having to ferry the kit all around.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
So,
get around.
Yeah, we done well. That was Friday, so we had all week doing the same thing. I got stuck once, so yeah,
you got stuck in a good way.
and he wasn't there when we left. That was the worst thing about it. So he's probably just come home and gone, "What is this mess?"
Yeah,
He didn't say it. He didn't say a word.
Will on the grass.
Yeah, just let it be.
Donuts.
Yeah, yeah. I felt guilty. Oh well.
Funny. While we're on this subject, what is one of the funniest things then that's happened to you on site?
Oh God. Oh, on the spot.
Or something you've done to one of the lads or something like that.
Oh God. Right. Okay. There's a lot of these. We'll pick on the last, not the last apprentice, but the one before. Mike. One comical human being. How old's Mike now? 25?
No, 20.
Sorry, Mike. I forgot your age.
23.
20. He's in his 20s. We'll leave it at that. So he's he was the nicest person. He's 15 years old. We've picked him up. Come on, Mike. It's your first day. It's a Saturday. He's still at school at the time, so he's just on a Saturday shift just to test him out. The front of the van was full up. He's been thrown in the back of the van. We've driven all the way out to Forest and Dean, rattling around in the back of the van. It's such a sweet little kid, but he was too easy. Every gag you could get him. We've had him rolling the disc cutter up the scaffold plank to get it bump started.
I love that one, mate. It's brilliant.
Yeah, but bear in mind it's a plug-in, so you can see him just dragging the lead behind him. It's hilarious. We've had him with a 2-foot level, so he's holding a 2-foot level with a handsaw, telling him to saw this. I think it was a bit about worktop. Told him to get a nice plumb cut, so we stood there for ages with a 2-foot. Got a nice video of this.
Brilliant, have you?
Yeah.
Little red dress.
Yeah, he tried to. He's passionate with football, and I'm a rugby boy, and he's come to work all passionate about England winning the World Cup. Now I'm 87. I've been supporting England football for a long time. I got fed up of it. I've just washed my hands of football.
Yeah,
Like, we got no chance. You can build this up as much as you want. It ain't happening, and it didn't, obviously. So he's put a bet on with me. I said we won't do it for money because that's just stupid.
Yeah,
let's do something a little bit more embarrassing. Loser has to wear a dress for the entire day.
At work.
Yeah, so we wore a pretty red dress all day. We went to merchants.
Was it your dress? Was it?
Yeah, Dave brought in. It was his wife's dress.
Was Dave's dress?
He looked all right. Yeah, he looked like Anne off Little Britain, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he looked just like Anne off Little Britain. But he's a good sport. He literally wore it all day, worked in it all day. The client thought it was hilarious. Hilarious.
Good sport then. At least you kept it up.
Oh, he's a proper good sport. Yeah. He's a good lad. No, I can go on forever with the apprentices. It's character building. It's not bullying.
No, that's like you said, character building. Like we were talking about earlier, connections, mate, isn't it? For anyone that starts.
Yeah, that's it.
It's all about networking. I've only recently learned that myself. I've been getting just from via word of mouth.
Yeah, it's literally it's key. Touching base with people on this new social platforms. It's new to me. Not been doing it all that long. Just touching base with people, like-minded folk. Yeah, picking up tips, helping each other out. That's
what I like about it. That's what I talked about the other week, mate. I was talking about it, like I said, talk to people like yourself and previous guests we've had on. It's just you become within like a small community.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
community, but people want to help each other out. So there's no judgment. If someone's doing photos, videos, lives, stories, there's no judgment at all. Everyone's there to help. Get any questions to ask someone, they give you advice, they help out. That's what I really like about it. Do you know what I mean? You can just easily message someone and they'll get back to you, which is really nice. Like I said, there's no judgmental.
No, you're right. You're right. It can be difficult sometimes where someone can be a little bit forward, but it's difficult because you don't know them fully, like a proper friend. I mean, I've got friendly people like yourself and me, but we haven't met in person and we've not known each other for a number of years. So you sort of you don't quite understand the character sometimes. So I've had some comments back where they were only hand on heart, they meant well.
Yeah.
But I sort of suffer with anxiety, not to a high level anymore, but it's enough to make me majorly overthink things.
Yeah.
So when something comes back and they're very direct with trying to help you, it knocked me for six a little bit. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm upsetting
Yeah, well, I've done something wrong here, like.
Yeah, I should have done that, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to name because that'd be silly. But
Yeah, of course.
after a little bit of just speaking to other people in the same boat as us, then it was quickly put to bed, and I moved on. But it can be difficult to put the right foot forward sometimes, but it is extremely friendly, and
Yeah.
people only want to help.
Yeah, definitely. Let's say you're gonna get those idiots that comment fucking stupid stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, there's
Ignore them. They're just
they're all like bots. I don't even treat them as real people.
nah, they're not. If you sit behind your phone or your computer and just write some absolute shite on a comment, what's the fucking
ridiculous, isn't it? Like TikTok's the worst. That's toxic.
Oh.
Facebook can be quite bad as well.
It can be, mate. Like I said, if you've got time to write toxic shit,
Yeah,
time in your hands.
It's always from like user 16493. It's like, oh yeah, great one. Cheers for that comment.
Shut up,
Was it you?
Yeah.
We just ignore them now. I used to get so het up about it.
Mate, 100%. I just got see what Matty's wrote here. So
yeah,
same just the weekends to build the business up. Yeah, that's it, mate. That's all you do, Matty. That's what you do. For a new business, you've got to put yourself out there massively to start off initially. I found it can take a year to 2 years before you start actually probably getting a name.
Yeah.
Did you find the same or?
Yes, yeah. Well, we had a lot of clientele already from running the previous business, so I'm not saying well known, sounds so big headed, but no one's going to blow your own trumpet, so you might as well blow it yourself. But we're all right what we do, reasonably well known in our local area, I believe, and I now push socials quite hard, and the van has the most ridiculous size logo on it. You can't miss us, so we're making waves, I think, our end, and socially we're getting bigger and bigger weekly.
Yeah, so obviously down your way, is that there's many people that do it down your way, socials and stuff like that, or not really?
Not really, no. I couldn't. I'll ask Dave's input here. I don't think there's many people.
Not to the extent that we're.
No, not that we're major. We're not in the major leagues, but not to the extent.
You're very similar. Yeah, we're very similar, exactly, pretty much the same there or thereabouts. And I'm the same, mate. Down my way, there's no one else really doing it at all. So once you start doing
it, really,
it is, mate. Yeah, it'd be nice to do stuff with people close to you and that locally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of people that sort of like the idea of it, but I'd say they're probably not as confident or as forward as I am. I wouldn't say I'm the most confident person, but I can be a little forward, especially on here. Sometimes I overstep and probably upset people. I don't mean it. I think people that get to know me in time. But yeah, there's a couple of people, but it'd be nice to have someone super local that we could all.
That's what I mean. Now, like me, properly catch up and stuff like that. You know, because I'll talk to you at some point. Some point of the year, we'll try and arrange something. We'll get a few of us down to meet up, and that I think will be decent.
Yeah, that'd be good. Because I think, to be honest, you're probably one of the closest people to me. I think there's another JB from JB Interiors. I think he's he's probably one of the other close ones. Other than that, I think everyone's scattered around.
Yeah, I think they're more like, obviously there's loads in Birmingham, mate.
No, yeah, loads. Yeah.
I think it must have initially started there,
mate. yeah. The world started in Birmingham.
Yeah. All social media just started in Birmingham, then it's branched out.
Yeah. It's just like 5 other people, and that's us.
Just trying to float around.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's loads in Birmingham, actually. Yeah, there's loads.
So myself, I'm based in Torbay, which is in Devon. You want to explain where you're from, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm based in Gloucester, covering Gloucestershire. So we got sort of Cheltenham, Gloucester, Cotswolds, Stroud, Hereford, push to Oxford, Bristol. Big old area we sort of spread to.
Nice old areas there, aren't there?
Yeah, some nice properties to be in, especially in the Cotswolds direction. Some nice properties in Cheltenham as well.
100%.
Yeah, there's a lot of country.
ASF, where are you based in, mate?
Say again, sorry.
I was just talking to the comment we had then, just to see where they're based.
My bad.
Mate, yeah, like I said, Oh, get on. He's in Payton, which is right by me. You have to give me a shout at some point, mate.
There we go.
Like that. There you go. Someone close by now.
Set for what's that group?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, give me a shout, buddy, and we'll try and arrange something and have a catch up. It'd be nice to see someone else locally that's actually doing stuff or whatever. Always here. Like I said, you know, that's the main thing. Like we talked before we went live. That's the main thing I want to try and do now is give my advice or what I've learned over the years to try and help out other people, and then just connect with new people, which is nice.
That's it. Learn from them. Bounce back.
100%, buddy. So what's your main goals then, buddy? What's your future goals? What's your 2023 plans? What have you got lined up?
So I didn't want to be too over ambitious. I say that this might sound a bit crazy, but we had a video and I was really pushing to get 1 million views on it on Instagram. We obliterated that in January, and I forgot one of the other ones. That's a great start, isn't it?
Which video was it?
Say again, sorry.
Which video was that?
It was the one where we are resizing the bottom of the door.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It was like 1930s, something of that. Yeah, we just basically just lift the panel up in. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was right. But then we've had another video since that's absolutely wiped the floor with it. It's got nearly 12 million views.
Is it? Fucking hell. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what? It's actually pissed me off. Pissed me off.
You don't know why?
Yeah, because you do all these nice videos of like how to. This is how we do it, the bros way. I call it bros essential. All these sort of tag names, and you put your heart and soul into it. You buy nice kit, cost you hundreds, if not thousands of pounds.
Yeah, literally does, doesn't it?
And then you take all your time to edit it, edit the crap out, make it really relevant, how to, and all this, and then you do another one where Dave's throwing a chisel across a building site, and it gets 12 million views. You're like, what was the point?
You thought maybe they want to see more of Dave, not you.
Oh,
right, that's the end of the chat. Where's that leave button?
Yeah. No, but I know
yeah, maybe.
Isn't it?
Dave's got a face for radio anyway. We don't want Dave.
It is frustrating, mate. Like I said, you put so much time. It's so time consuming. People that don't realise how time consuming it is, and try to remember to do it all. Like I'll do a video like for a story or whatever, and it's like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, oh shit, that's from this morning. I'm supposed to put it up.
Yeah. It's tricky. I've got faster at it using certain apps. Again, I'm such a tight git. I will not pay for an app, so I use any free apps going. I'm all over it. Again, I bounce off other people. So you see it come in at the roll on the back end of their reel sometimes.
Yes,
I picked up quite a few apps that way.
So what apps are you using then, mate? If you know,
yeah, definitely CapCut. That's a good one.
Yeah,
and the other one, Cam something or other. I picked that one up from Chris from Tommy Stone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but if you jump on at the moment as Leanson Coaching, I've sort of pushed him over to this as well. But if you get onto TikTok and type in CapCut templates, they're doing a lot of push templates, so they're all the pre-formed. So you just click on the template and just infill your videos, pictures, whatever, and they got the music set on it. It's all edited. It's cool intros, outros. It's shady. It's all done for you. Literally, it can speed you up and get you back on track with the family rather than spending hours on end editing anyway.
100%, because it does. It takes absolutely ages, doesn't it?
It can do, but it depends on what you're doing. So, like I say, Dave throwing a chisel across the site, we can get that edited and popped up in about 5 minutes. Yeah. But detailed video, which was one of my initial goals, that took me hours. And I was very grateful. I think that one got 1.2 million. Like I say, I was extremely grateful. I'm blown away at the time. But this 12 million one, I think it's nearly 12 million. It's
nuts, isn't it?
Astonishing. Absolutely astonishing.
Like, one video can just go.
Yeah, and I don't even get it. It's just, but I've got a plan anyway with this chisel thing. I'm going to try and flip. It is positive. It's just annoyed me a little bit. But we're going to try and make something of it. Yeah, we got an idea with this chisel. the sacred chisel, and I'm going to send it on to somebody else to sort of throw it. They catch it and bring it in, and they're going to do a lot of stuff with Rob from Mind Your Head podcast and Leanton coaching and whatnot.
Well, them two are brilliant, mate, and they.
Oh, they're brilliant, yeah. So we're going to try and raise a bit of awareness and put some foot traffic that way, trying to help people. So just catch the chisel, bit of camera work, and pass it on. So just keep passing it up and down the country.
Yeah,
and I might be back in a few years. Who knows?
Mate, anything like that, anything to do with mental health and that, we're always here to help. That's why I always try and get Rob on and Lee on anytime I can, because I think the work they do is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is fantastic. Yeah, just
not spoken about enough, is it? Really?
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. Yeah, it's phenomenal work what they do. Just open and honest.
Obviously,
advice.
Eh?
The little snippets of advice.
It is, mate. Yeah, 100%.
Rather than hours on end just being spoken to.
It's just like you said. It's just that one bit of advice, and you take it and you're like, they basically, they reverse your thinking or your thought process, and you're like, I've never looked at it from that point of view.
It's all angles, just looking at it at a different angle. Yeah,
that's it, mate. Literally. So we spoke before the show and stuff, mate, about mental health and that. Do you mind talking a little bit?
No, not at all. I don't mind.
Mate? Is that okay?
Absolutely fine. Yeah.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah. So at a young age, I've sort of quite quiet and confident, didn't ask for much as a kid. Yeah. Rugby was my sort of go-to thing. So I had like an outburst. I could get, maybe let some stuff out. I don't know. But parents separated at a sort of early teenager, 12-ish. Knocked me for 6. That did. Yeah, struggled with that. Yeah, it's a tricky age, going through stuff anyway. Yeah. Cool. And then I got pulled out of my school and got sent off to another school. It was all quite to and fro, a bit crappy, like, you know. Cool. Struggled with that. Just struggled with some struggle was just coping with the situation and the arguments and things like that as a kid. And it just knocked me for quite a while. And then, you know, you grow up, you move on, and you become sort of a young man and whatnot. You think you're all right. You get a few beers and you're at the rugby and whatnot, and then you get into your own little relationship. And then I had a son with a previous partner, and that broke down, and we separated, and that sort of sent me off the rails. It was sort of separating that was okay, that part, because it was the right thing to do, but it was leaving my son behind.
Cool. That's a tricky thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously some personal reasons within obviously that it just probably should have sought professional help back then, rather than just leaving it be and licking my wounds and thought, I'll put a plaster on it. It wasn't really the way to deal with it. But yeah, one foot in front of the other. I sort of look back and find it quite remarkable how you managed to get. Dave's just saying he doesn't think the help was there back then. If you're talking,
I was just about to say that, mate.
13 years ago, that.
Yeah, literally just about to say that. It's not
like it is today.
About as it is today, is it?
No, I mean, I picked up some counselling back then, but it wasn't great. It was I think 60 quid a session. There's probably counsellors out there thinking that's bloody cheap. Yeah. But yeah, I was paying that. I got through a few sessions, and I was thinking, I can't really afford this. I mean, whatnot, and single man now, trying to save up for a new pad and whatnot. But just sort of in time, I wouldn't say it healed. It just stuck back together in a bit of a roundabout way, of a human shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's took me to sort of the age I'm at now, 35. So like I said, it's 13 years ago, and you sort of break down again in a different way. Like I say, you're a funny old shape, and then something else will happen, and you'll crumble a bit more again. And but I've taken snippets of advice. I always use snippets because I'm too daft to remember hours on end of advice. So I remember just little bite-sized bits.
But those snippets can be enough, though, can't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's enough to just adjust your head that day, and no, you'll be all right. You'll be all right, kid. Just crack on. Just work. Some days I look back, and I get to the end of the week, and I don't even know I've done it. I don't know how I jumped off a bridge. I don't know how I have done something daft. Look, I just don't understand how I've managed to just get from point A to point B, let alone C and D.
Yeah, of course.
It's sort of happened. It's just sort of happened.
I was genuinely worried about you like 3 years ago.
Yeah. So what I haven't really mentioned yet is before the other company that I sort of touched base on, it sort of I had to dissolve the company. My previous business partner sort of, not talk ill of him, but shafted me.
Right.
Left me sort of holding the baby, as the officials called it.
Yeah.
So lost the company, had to sort of liquidate, and yeah, it was rough. I hadn't long just got my first home with my wife and children and whatnot. So the potential of losing all of that was bad. So not only did he leave, I had to take on all the projects that he was running at the time. It was tough. It was tough. I had to finish quite a major project. It was it was huge. It was a house renovation with a garage conversion, a new. It was nuts. 2-story extension, new roof, the lot.
Yes,
And it was 50%. It was 50% of the way through the project at the time I took it over, and it was only about 27 grand left in the budget. Yeah, it was a big old job for us. And I look back and I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even have told you what clothes I was wearing. I was literally just not there.
Yeah,
gone, absolutely gone. And like, I remember a couple of times having these conversations with the bank, walking up and down the road, just thinking, this is literally make or break. If they can't like sort this little loan out or help me out in this way, I'm fucked.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's the biggest. Like you said, you've got a family as well, then, haven't you?
Oh yeah, by Christ, yeah. So it got to the point where the bills were just there was bills coming in I wasn't aware of. So once he was signed out of the company, that things just snowballed fast. And it added up to a lot of money, and unfortunately, I had to wind it up. But I've learned a lot by doing so. So something positive has come from it.
Yeah, well, that's all you can do. That you've taken the best out of a shit situation, and you've turned yourself around. Obviously, you've sorted yourself out now, where you're doing really well. So you know, that just shows for anyone out there, you know, there is always light at the end of the tunnel.
It's changed me for the better, because I was quite judgmental back then, to be honest. If I'd heard, someone's knocked a company on the head, or they've gone bust or whatever, I'm like, well, that's bad management, or I was quite judgmental.
Yeah,
bad, really bad.
Yeah.
But reservation there. But
so that's the main thing.
Yeah, so now it's happened to me, and I think, well, that was I completely and utterly out of my control. I literally done my best towards the end, and it wasn't good enough. So it helped me in regards to that, now not being so sort of judgmental to those sorts of situations and people, because not everybody out there, they haven't intentionally done that. It's just they've got caught out by it.
Yeah.
But the worst thing about it all was my ex-business partner. We were like really close friends.
Right. Yeah.
I've not spoken to him since, and that is probably the worst part of the whole situation. It's taken me probably best part of 2 years to really pull myself back up properly.
Yeah.
And
if you've been friends for a long time, that as well.
Oh yes, we've done our apprenticeships together.
That's a long time, isn't it?
Come at the rank, yeah, long time. I just didn't come in.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
But you got to just leave it be and move on. Just literally leave it at that. I don't want to be mad anymore with it all. I'm sort of just done.
Yeah, I think in that situation, if you hold a grudge for too long, it's only going to eat away at you more, isn't it?
Yeah, and it did. I've now, I'd say, let it go.
Yeah.
I don't bring it up so much anymore. It used to be a thing I used to talk about constantly.
We look back and we laugh about that. In fact, we were working at a shitty old
So I feel like we had it all. So we had a gang in of about, I don't know, 13 at best, 8 on an average.
Yeah.
Staff and my ex-business partner had some nice crew cab custom vans, and then I always wanted a T6.
Yeah.
T6. And he left, and I was like, yeah, I can chop both the vans in now, and I can finally get one. And we needed a van anyway, and it was just paid on tick anyway.
Yeah, cool.
So done it. Chopped them in. I went and drove up to Wales, sorted one out, and then next thing you know, all these letters start flooding in. I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
like HMRC letters. I just didn't know anything about because these
Oh,
now
shit.
got. Yeah, I didn't have a Scooby about it. Not a clue. It is what it is. Anyway, so I've gone from having like the van of my dreams. It had the front end kit on it, the black wheels, the
Nice.
cars. Oh, it was lush on it, Dave. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A brand new set of alloys. I think there was like 18-inch alloys or something. I curbed all 4 of them at the time of the first weekend. They
I
were
didn't always know.
oh, I was crying my eyes out. It was a long wheelbase, so I wasn't used to it.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Can't drive. Just can't drive for toffee. But yeah, so I had it about 3 months, and all these baddie letters were coming through, and it got repoed. To be honest, got repoed, and I was on my ass. Lost the company. I thought I was going to lose the house. My wife gave me a big kick up the ass, and she was quite stern with me. She was, wasn't like, "Oh, we'll be okay." She was hard on me with it all. Not like nasty, but she was hard. She was what I needed.
Yeah,
so take that off to her.
Yeah.
But I literally had a few £100 or so. I had to, again, lacing the boots up, as I put it, and I went to work every single day. I was a bit out of it, but the work got done. And
down back into it, back in the swing of it, and start growing again.
Yeah, out of all that, I mean, I'm talking. I had like suicidal thoughts. I was on early back in the day. I was on medicines and stuff, but I wanted to stay off them because I got a bit hooked on them and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure I was just on a non sort of medicated path.
Trying to be a bit more then.
Yeah, just trying to do it, but just doing it myself. Couldn't sleep. It was disgusting, but I got through it, and now I look back. Absolute joke, to be quite honest. It was rough, it was extremely hard, and I don't quite know how I got through it, but I did. So if anyone's listening or will be watching in a later date and you're going through something similar, you will get through it. The classic saying, "Oh, time's a healer." Genuinely, you put some things into 5 year, but like not plans, but perspective. Look back 5 years ago and what had happened then. Do you think you'd be where you are now, and then roll it 5 years past that? Just you're constantly evolving and
always
constantly. So I don't. In another 5 years' time, I don't know what's going to be going on, but it's going to be bigger and better. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's you can have a target or a dream, but then all of a sudden that road just branches off, and you've got like 3 different roads to go down, and then all of a sudden
quite right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, quite right. So but going back to the van thing anyway, I waffled on there a little bit. But I was on my ass, and we didn't even have a van. I was like, shit. It's a very similar story to Brad and Sam. I don't know if you've heard their story with the Bold Builders. They were on their ass, very similar story. But I had to go out and buy a Volkswagen Passat estate.
It's all we could find, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was literally all I could find, all I could afford, just to put kit in the back of the van and get to work.
Yeah, enough just to crack up.
We're talking literally a few weeks before lockdown, and I'm like, "Oh, you're joking me."
Yeah, here we go.
It. We've lost everything here, but it actually came right at the right time because it calmed things down and slowed things down for me. We didn't have a day off. We did not have a single day off. We didn't break any rules. Very sort of tried not to. I looked into it properly and made sure that we weren't breaking any rules at the time, but. Getting kit was an absolute nightmare. So right at the beginning, I think we managed to get a client booked in.
Yeah.
And we got her to literally go to the merchants. I built up a big kit list because at the time, obviously, I'm on my ass. I had no banks anymore. I had to try and start a new company, and sent her to the merchants, and she bought like 15 grand's worth of kit. And that bore us for quite a few months before we could pick up more work. Before people were happy to have you in their home and whatnot. But
it was a period, wasn't it? And you're walking around and you're thinking, I was the same, mate. We were the same as you, just cracked on through because we were able to do it and make sure it was all safe.
Right.
But it was just like you said, it's more materials was a pain in the ass to get hold of, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. How did you cope?
So material-wise, it got to a certain stage where I was thinking, obviously we are an allocation on certain things, so like bags of plaster and cement at the time. It's like you can have two per day or something like that.
Yeah, and what can you do with that?
Oh, it was like
Patchwork.
There was guys selling it on Facebook
Yeah.
for like 70, 80 pound a bag.
Yeah, did you have that for
yeah,
it?
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope it went off on them.
Yeah, too, right. So
And they
I
brought
managed.
that Polish stuff in, didn't they? That white stuff.
Terrible.
Oh, that
Rubbish.
white stuff was absolute crap when it what make good or something.
Yeah, it was
It
like
made-
render.
It made nothing good. It fucking it was good for the bin.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, my plaster is like rendering anyway. It all me plastering. Jesus Christ. But yeah. So, well done.
No. So we were just buying. I got to a stage where I bought, I think, 2 pallets of cement. I managed to get hold of. Put that into the store. So we cracked on because at the time we had 3 extensions going on and a landscaping job as well. So we were just like had enough just to blitz through what we had. I think over 100 bags of cement or whatever. So we could crack on still, which is good.
Oh, well done. Yeah. We bounced off that job onto. I can't really remember. No, it was another. It was a knock through with a kitchen installation that was sourced from a local smaller kitchen company, and that saw us through for another 3 months or so. So we had best part of like 6 months worth of work on 2 jobs.
Yeah, that's how it can happen, isn't it? Which is good. You go from one job, recommended from them to another job, and then boom, you've got half a year.
Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah, and we just scaled it right back. There was obviously me and Dave, and we had a few other subbies sort of helping at the time. But yeah, it was stressful. But COVID was a blessing in disguise for us. Though it was horrible. Don't get me wrong, but it helped me personally to just slow life down, which I needed.
Yeah.
But we got there. We got there in the end. Yeah,
That's
just
amazing, mate.
saving and trying to financially just sort stuff out, because stop the bad is trying to come through the door and take your TV.
Yeah, I'm bloody watching that, you bastard.
Yeah.
So you've gone from that, mate, from the COVID section. You've gone from the mental health period, and then obviously talk to me about the celebrity that you obviously went to look at. You were fortunate enough to go to his house.
Yeah. So since we've taken to social media, there seems to just be random acts of kindness from just sort of bigger people. So we put a post together with these push out drawers on this understairs storage system we fitted. It's all bespoke stuff from MDF. So Travis Perkins saw it, liked it, put a little piece together and shared it on their I think it was Instagram. It could have been more. I don't know. We'd have to double check that, Dave.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then from that, Ronan Keating followed me within about 4 or 5 hours of that being posted from Travis Perkins. I believe he has ties with them because he's been doing a lot of work at his own property. Anyway, I didn't believe it. I thought it was some sort of fake account. I was like, right, okay. Yeah, I'm like, why would he follow me?
Yeah, literally.
Right. Numpty from Gloucester, like throwing a few units under some stairs. All right. Anyway, so I thought it was some Mickey Mouse account. Yeah, so I ignored him for about 3/4 of a day.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I kept going back to it. Yeah, it was in the back of my head thinking, what if it ain't?
Yeah.
What if it is really him? So then I clicked on it. I was like, Dave, he's got like hundreds of thousands of followers. I said, he's got a blue tick and everything. Look, Dave, look. And I thought, I better follow him back at this point. So I followed him back. Like I say, it was 3/4 of a day had gone by at this point. And then I reckon it was within about half an hour, I had a message from him. And I was like, shut up. No
That's
way.
mad, isn't it?
Yeah, can you come down and have a look at some media units and things like this? We want, a lot of bespoke bits and bobs done. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. When? He goes, oh, you free tomorrow? I was like, funny. And then I've gone home and spoke to some family members, and they were like, you do realise you're pretty much going to have to just drop everything.
Yeah,
if you want this to pan out, you're going to have to go.
Yeah.
He was due to start a tour. I think he'd done a solo tour on his Todd, obviously. And he was going within the next couple of days. So my window genuinely was the next day. So we sort of rescheduled what we had on, went on down there to go meet him and his family. But we drove up to the gates. Where is it, Dave? And he got these like nice sort of gates with a bit of a dip in it.
Yeah.
Dave goes, well, I think that's him over there waving at you. I was like, Ronan Keating's waving at me.
Yeah. Yeah, completely random.
Just pulled up in Big Frank, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ronan Keating's waving at me. The gates have been opened and I've driven on in.
Mate,
All right, lads. That was my worst
you
Irish.
boys felt like the bollocks driving through that gate.
God, mate, honestly. And
up to that point, we still thought it was fake.
Yeah, at that point, I still didn't believe it. I could have just been absolutely like just done over by the boys. Wanted me TV a few months before.
What do you make up?
Yeah, just stitched up by my mates. Yeah, but yeah, we got in there. He was told us to park up by the tennis courts, as you do, obviously. So we drove up to the tennis courts, and then wandered on down. But what a nice guy, though. What a nice guy. So he got this. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But he got this, like, he just sort of sweeps down. He sort of built it on an old farmhouse. I think he flattened the farmhouse and just built this very modern looking place.
Yeah.
He had like a plant room and gym under the ground. It's a little bit like Teletubbies house. It's a bit like that.
Decent.
Yeah. A nice swimming pool in there and whatnot. And the house is I can only describe it. It looks like it's just covered in slabs. It's like a very modern building, square looking, and it sort of just shears off. So the front side of it's all glass. The front door must be 3 meters high by probably about 2.8 wide. Sort of pivoted open, and this like black sort of modern panelled. I'd never seen it. It was like I was walking in Hogwarts. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But the sad thing about it, when we got in there, we got chatting to his wife Storm, and it's beautiful in there. It's really nice, but you sort of didn't realise the struggle that they'd gone through as well. They got shafted by previous builders, and they've took for over £1 million. So what had happened is the guys that were in there, the small stories that we were told, that these guys were pinching their jewellery, their clothing, and they were selling it down at the local pawn shop stuff. Yeah, and the directors of the company were like being wined and dined by Storm and Ronan, and they were very, very pally, meeting the children and things like that, got days out, those sorts of things. And they had sort of progress targets that they needed to hit to release payments and things. And they were having boards put on ceilings, skimmed out and whatnot. Big tick, release a big payment. Glass was going in. Again, big payment. It's watertight. But they hadn't put no electrics in, no plumbing in.
Really?
Yeah, so they were hiding lots of things, but they was racked up to the incorrect glass as well. It wasn't the correct glass for what it needed to do.
That's so bad.
Yeah, they had to get some sort of law team to put together a film crew and whatever, and officially have them evicted from site, and it all had to be done officially. And they finally got their home back properly, and they started to then self-manage it. Yeah. It was a rough ordeal. So
that's a stressful time, that is.
Yeah, so we sort of got on in there, and Ronan has sort of geared up. It was almost done. He'd fully insulated the building himself. He was fully kitted out this entire building with Kingspan. And then added, he done a lot of work himself.
Bedroom doors up as well.
Yeah, he was putting some bedroom doors up. And when we got there, he was walking around with his little boy with his little Makita drill in his pouch and stuff, and he was going to put TVs up and stuff. I was like,
that's quality.
Ronan, he's got a Makita drill. Like, he's putting a TV up. Like, what's going on? He's starstruck. Yeah, you think you'd have Festool, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's
a singer. Out a bit of Parkside.
Yeah, that's it. Bit of Parkside. Yeah. Dave's got some
what tool brand are you then? What tool brand?
Oh, Makita, mate. Yeah, Makita boy.
Yeah.
That's all I can afford. No. Yeah, Makita all the way. It's just once you get a few bits of battery stuff, that's it. Then you're set, because you just got to keep it going to fit the batteries.
Yeah, well, I thought that was the case, but now I've become a bit of both now.
So what are you running on?
I've got Makita and DeWalt.
Oh, dirty boy, you.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm such a filthy bastard.
You're going to have a really hot wash after this. So I don't really like DeWalt. I mean, I've got the only thing I've got in DeWalt is a biscuit jointer that I've had for like 300 years.
Yeah, they're ASF sort of Festool. They are good, mate. They're expensive.
They are good. I've got a Festool rail saw on 110. I'm not that impressed with it, to be honest. We've got a 36 volt Makita twin battery thing. Absolutely wipes the floor with it.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah, wipes the floor with it. So easy to use, dynamic, no lead, obviously. With the Festool one, you could just sort of cuts out mid-cut, like it's just
what you want, mate.
MDF. It's like, oh my god, you can't cope with cutting MDF.
Don't buy Milwaukee, it falls to pieces.
Yeah, Dave's a Milwaukee man. He's regretting that now. His batteries just burn out. How many charges you had?
About 3 charges, about 3 years.
3 chargers, 3 years. The tiniest little bit of damp. Say again, Toe.
Must be in the name because my Dave as well. He's got Milwaukee as well. And they're shite.
It's crap. Powerful. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful shite. Powerful shite.
It's powerful shite. Yeah. It's like those robust tools you can just boot around everywhere. They just still be sat there like being alright.
Yeah.
Throw them on the floor, they still survive.
Does the job and it's affordable and good in hand.
Nah.
Back are all right.
Yeah. So, mate, obviously, before we end the live, mate, you just tell everyone the social platforms that you're on. So, anyone check you out, they can head over to you and give you a follow.
Yeah, so we're heavy on Instagram. So we've got daily content that we sort of throw up, literally like Dave throwing chisels. So that's
12 million people.
Yeah, Instagram at Bros Carpentry. We're on TikTok. That's that just runs through my name, Scott.Bub. We're on LinkedIn and on Facebook. Come and we're on YouTube as well. We're not too heavy on it, but please come and subscribe. Yeah, come give us a follow. We'd much appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for watching tonight and commenting. Pleasure for having you on, Scotty.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
So next week's guest, guys, we'll announce Monday. So we're looking forward to that. Take care. Have a good Easter, or not Easter, bank holiday, whatever it is. I get so confused with it all. Have a nice fucking time off.
Yeah. Enjoy yourselves.
That's it. Don't drink too much. Be responsible.
Get Stephen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Right. Cheers, that's Scotty. I'll speak to you soon, buddy.
Yeah, you take care. Thanks again, Tony.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.